And now we're here. I was also going to tell you guys about this past weekend because we didn't get to talk about it much. Last stream I was kind of rushed because we had to go right into the segment where my buddy and I played Cuphead because the two of us played Cuphead together last stream. You guys remember we did the DLC. As many of you know, this past weekend was the 4th of July weekend, and we have a fun time. We celebrate freedom, and you drink alcohol and shoot guns and frickin', I don't know, do like America stuff. So a couple weeks beforehand, I texted a couple of my friends who were in the city. I didn't want to leave the city. I wanted to kind of stay in the city. I didn't want to travel. So I talked to my buddy Zach. I talked to my buddy Tom. They're like, yeah, we're not really doing anything either. We're not traveling. We're not going anywhere. I was like, hell yeah, we should like go do something together. Bro out and just have like a bro day. And then, you know, we'll like go out at night. And my idea is like, okay, hang out with friends, drink alcohol. Maybe at night we'll go out, we'll hang out with some, we'll like meet up with some other friends. Maybe we'll talk to some girls, you know? So I make reservations at a place for us to meet up in the morning for brunch. 12:30. My sleep schedule, as you guys know, is always messed up. I'm always awake at like, for some reason, like 4 or 5 in the morning, or I'm awake at these like weird hours. And in order to configure your sleep schedule, you have to like plan it several days in ahead. You guys who probably know what I'm talking about. Like if you need to be up at a certain time on like Tuesday and it's Friday right now, you got to plan ahead so you know like when you can start falling asleep days ahead of time. So you're not like your sleep schedule's not messed up by the time that day comes, right? So I had started to plan out my sleeping so I would sleep the right amount of time every night, so I'd make sure I was good to go that day and I was well rested enough to wake up at a reasonable hour and also be awake. Meet my friends at 12:30 for brunch at this cute little brunch spot. I planned it all out. I was super hype. I said, guys, we can go to this place for a nice $31. We can get an entree and unlimited mimosas / Bloody Mary / Bellinis for an hour and a half. Pretty pog champ. We all get there. I go inside. I say, hey, it's exactly 12:30. I have a reservation. Dude's like, cool, sure. Let me place you guys. I said I had an indoor reservation. Guys come up to me and say, hey, Nick Deriu, can we sit outside? And me being me, I'm like, oh, I guess, yeah, I can ask the guy if we can sit outside. And guy comes back and he's like, all right, I got your table all set up for you. I'm like, excuse me, like, I know I just told you that I had an indoor table, but like my friends, they kind of like want to sit outside. Can we sit outside? And the guy's like, let me check. And then he checked him. They actually had an outdoor table. And I was like, I should have just said, because he asked me originally if I wanted indoor or outdoor, and I said indoor, and I felt bad. Because he had already set the table for us. And I was like, well, my friends want to sit outside, so I guess we're gonna go outside. Anyway, we went outside. We sit down. We get our drinks at the restaurant. And this woman comes up to us and randomly out of nowhere introduces herself. And she's like, hi, my name is, I don't even remember her name. Let's just say it's like Ramona. Hi, I'm Ramona. And this girl, she gave us like her whole life story. I'm here with my son. He just graduated. We're gonna have a nice graduation party with our family. And she gives us like her whole story of like where her son went to college and where this and where that. And after 30 seconds, we're all looking at each other, me and Zach and Tom, and we're like, is this woman like trying to ask us for money or something? And I think Tom or someone just says like, get to the point, like, what do you want from us? Like, do you need money or something? And she's like, well, we're meeting up with a whole bunch of our family. They gave us this one table for 4 people, and they gave us another table that's a couple tables away. In fact, the table you're sitting right now is in between the 2 tables they gave us. We were wondering if by chance you'd be able to switch tables with the table next to you. Like sure, no problem. Like you could have just said that before. We'll happily switch so you two can have tables right next to each other. And just the way she came off to ask us was just so funny because we thought she was gonna like ask us for money or something, and she just was wondering if we could move over to the table next to us, which was obviously super easy to do. We move from that table to the next table. We start to get our drinks. We get mimosas and we order our food, and we start getting trash. And I'm drinking these mimosas at this place. These guys are not around. They are not. These mimosas are boozy. All right, I have one of these things and I'm already feeling like half cocked. My God, I have one, and then I get a Bellini, start drinking that. My food comes. We all get our food, which is, by the way, it was delicious. I got a poached egg with like some pork belly and on toast with like a salad. Oh, it was really good. It was really, really good. After the Bellini, I have another mimosa, and we are all cocked, dude. It is 1:30, 2 o'clock p.m. and we are already blasted. We finish our last drink. I've had 3 drinks. The other guys have had 4 drinks. I can't drink as much as they can, but these drinks are strong. I feel like each have to have been like 2 drinks worth of drink. We get up and we're like, what do we do now? We're like, I don't know. We're all really drunk. Let's just go walk. So we just wandered 5 blocks, 10 blocks. Mind you, also when we were at this place, I think I used the restroom at least 2 or 3 times. Already broke the seal. 5 minutes after we start walking down the road, I have to pee again. So we're looking for all these different places to pee because in New York City, you can't just like walk into a place and use the restroom. Usually you have to buy something. So it's hard to find a place that you can just go in and use the restroom. We found a bar that let us use the restroom. Both went back, used the restroom. Next, another 5 minutes later, have to use the restroom again. It's a scramble to find another place to use the restroom. And this continues repeating as we're walking down the road. And eventually like, all right, we need to just find somewhere to hang out at. We need to find a bar to go to. My friends were like, oh, there's a bar downtown, like very far from us, but we can get there if we take like transportation or bike or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Let's go to a place and I can actually hang out there because we've been walking for 20 minutes. I've already had to pee twice. This is ridiculous. I want to get another drink. I'm already fully cocked, but I want to stay cocked. My buddy has a membership to City Bike. He's like, yo, I can get us some city bikes to take to the bar. It's like 50 blocks away, but we'll just bike. We'll bike through Central Park. It'll be fun. I'm like, okay. So he rents us these bikes and we are actually have to go to multiple different city bike like unit locations because we were trying to find specifically electric bikes because again, we're all blasted. There is no way you're gonna find me manually pedaling up and down hills in Central Park to get to a bar that's like, we probably had to bike like 60 or 70 blocks. We found 2 electric bikes and 1 regular bike. We cannot find 3 electric bikes. So I took one for the team and took the regular bike from the bike rack and we're off on our journey into Central Park. These dudes are just like casually like pedaling, like going, ha la di da di da di da di da di da. And I'm like, I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. I can do it. I'm going up the hill. Like, I'm coming. And 10 minutes after, I couldn't do it anymore. I was panting up these hills on the city bike. I had to switch bikes with one of them. We made it through Central Park, got to the bar. The next several hours were us going to a rooftop bar, then us going to another regular bar, then us wandering around even more trash, then us stopping at another bar, which was hilarious. We took shots and then chugged beers at this random hole in the wall bar. Then we went to a hotel rooftop club bar, which was actually pretty lit, honestly. It was pretty sweet. The vibe was pretty lit there. We go there from like maybe like 9 to 11. I don't even know what it was. We had stopped to get pizza along the way at some point. This was all like kind of like fading in and out because I was pretty trashed. And then at 11, I'm like, all right, guys, I want to go to like a bar that I know is going to be popping. Like I'm really excited to go to. We leave the rooftop bar. It's like in an area where there's like 3 or 4 poppin' bars like kind of next to each other. So we at least have some options. First of all, we get to the bar and there's not nearly as many people as I thought there were going to be. And I think mostly because first of all, it's Sunday. It's 4th of July weekend, so everyone is off on 4th of July. So I figured a lot of people would be out on Sunday, but also I guess a lot of people maybe left the city for 4th of July because usually you don't want to be in the city 4th of July. You want to be like at a beach or on vacation or a shore town or something like that. I'm thinking in the back of my head, like, all right, get a couple drinks. Maybe I'll talk to like some ladies and try to like flex my social muscles a little bit or just talk to people in general. As soon as I get into this bar, dude, and I don't know if I'd been to this bar before. I had walked outside it and I always wanted to go, but I recommended this bar. As soon as we can get our drinks, I'm like looking around. There is a TV. God, you guys are gonna think I'm such a freaking weeb. In this bar, in this like poppin' bar with like people drinking, hanging, there's just like a couple booths and there's games at some of them. There's like one with life-size Jenga. There's one with like Connect 4. There's one booth with no one sitting at that has a TV and a Super Nintendo with Super Mario Bros. Just loaded and ready to go. And I'm like, bro, I am sitting here playing Super Mario and I am not leaving. And I sit down and all of my friends sit down with us and I just grab the controller and start freaking grinding. I'm also trash, just grinding Super Mario Bros. On the Super Nintendo. I kid you not, for an hour and a half, I'm just sitting there chugging Red Bull vodkas, playing Super Nintendo and not talking to anyone because I just want to like play video games at the bar. And my friends are just hanging out with me, like, they're also playing with me, but they're not nearly as into it as I am, clearly. And I'm just having a freaking ball. And one by one, everyone just starts leaving. Like Zach's friends start leaving, our buddy Tom leaves, and then eventually Zach, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm just playing Super Nintendo, like with my buddy Zach. And Zach's like, all right, man, like I think I'm like gonna go. And I'm like, oh, okay, you don't want to like hang out and play Super Nintendo anymore? And he's like, nah, dude, I'm gonna go home. To be fair, I had one Chad moment. I did talk to one girl at the bar who was also looking for the restroom, and the two of us heroically helped each other find out where the restrooms were because I couldn't find them initially when I went in there. And she was actually kind of cute, and I totally could have talked to her after going to the restroom because we were chatting a little bit. But after getting out of the restroom, drunken Nick's mind was just like, go back and talk to this girl, go back and play Super Nintendo. And I just bolted back to this freaking booth. I'm such a freaking dweeb, man. Got home by like 2:30 in the morning, and I drunkenly made like 5 different things. I drunkenly made ramen. I don't actually remember what else I made because I was so cocked by this point. I had so many drinks at that bar. That's my 4th of July. That was my 4th of July day. Nikki made the right choice. Thanks, Club. I appreciate that. Water at 2 a.m. feels colder. True. OMG, a single girl? No way. Yeah, I talked to a girl. You'd be proud of me, guy.